record on my computer. Hi guys, welcome to our it's May 30th team call. All right, let's do a little screen share here and get into tonight's presentation. And tonight's topic, which is following up and reaching back, and how these are cornerstones of our business and can really help propel us forward. So I'm going to just kind of make sure this is a little bit out of the way. And we're going to get rolling. So we're going to do a quick welcome for our new coaches, talk about where we're at today with Success Club. We still have one more day for anybody who's going after Success Club, a few announcements, and then we're going to get into tonight's topic, which is all about fortune in the follow-up and why reaching back is so key to growing our businesses. So tonight, to welcome, I got to minimize this. Okay. Tonight, we are welcoming 3 new coaches to Team Ohana: Simone, Michelle, and Kelly. Simone and Kelly are new coaches on Erin's team, and Michelle joined our team on my team second week of May, I think. So welcome, you guys, to the team. All right, onward to tonight's other topics. As of now, Success Club, Erin's got 2 Success Club points, new coach enrollment. I'm at 10, and I know we both are still striving for big goals. I'm trying to hit 14 by tomorrow, and Erin's working on trying to get her Success Club 5 so we can earn our webinar with John C. Maxwell. So wish us luck in the last day of the month. Okay, so let's get on to announcements, because I really want to get into the meat of tonight, but we have some really, really big announcements. The first being that I am sure not only did you see the Beachbody updates earlier in the week, but I am sure that you have seen, or hopefully have even made some posts of your own on social media about us moving into the UK market. I was so curious if it was going to be the UK or Australia. I had heard of both markets being potential new markets for us. So I'm excited that we're moving into the United Kingdom in the fall. There is a ton of information out there. So if you want to start to get yourself acclimated in what this is going to mean for your business later in the year, I would highly recommend that you watch the YouTube video, the pre-launch webinar that was hosted this week. And then there is a ton of information in your Coach Online office with the launch details, with tons of FAQs and a bunch of other things that you can share with clients and prospects. So when I will upload this PDF to our team page, the link will be live and it can take you to the YouTube video. You can also just search through the Beachbody YouTube page and you will find this webinar link. It is definitely worth watching. So while this is super exciting, and you're going to start to see a lot of coaches, especially top coaches, who are going to be able to spend a lot of money to market their businesses and really start targeting an audience in the UK, I don't want you guys to get wrapped up in, oh my gosh, how am I going to start building my European client database? Keep working your warm market, keep working your current US and Canadian cold markets. We still have a lot of time until we get to launching the UK. So there is still a lot of time and a lot of work that we can do just on the people in North America who need our help. So let's not lose sight of that small detail, okay? Summer Sale is coming up next week. There will be a bunch of stuff that comes out from Beachbody, so I would keep a pulse on your Coach Online office for the links. This is one of our 2 big sales. So this one and the Black Friday sale are the 2 big ones that happen every year. There's going to probably be a lot of DVD programs that are going to be heavily discounted. So I would recommend, they usually have a lot of equipment, sometimes apparel. that's also on sale. Jump on there and grab a couple things, whatever you might need for your business. This is a great time to invest in gifts for clients. So as you're running challenge groups and you want to run those little mini challenges like we love to do, this is a great time to pick up some gifts and some things that you can give out. So that's coming up Monday and Tuesday next week. And there are a lot of things they will sell out like instantly. So don't get your heart set on something and then not get on until late in the afternoon on June 6th and expect it to still be available. I did that, I think it was last year. I really wanted to buy the TurboFire DVD set, and I was on the road, and so I didn't get a chance to get on until late the first night, and it was already sold out within a couple of hours. So I don't think that we get to preview what will be included in the sale, but check your online office. We might have a small sneak peek. All right, on to the new program. I guess you can call it a new program. So here's how Sean Week is going to work. For all of us Shaun T lovers out there, the week of June 12th, there is going to be an exclusive Shaun T Week on Beachbody On Demand. I believe the way that it's going to be set up is that you're going to actually see Sean Week as one of the program options. It might also be the challenge du jour workout of the day as well. I'll have to double check that for us. But regardless, we will have a different workout every day the week of the 12th that is Shaun T focused. It is kind of at this point considered hybrid, right? So it's going to be kind of this cross between Insanity and T25 primarily from what I understand. So prepare yourselves for that if you are planning to participate. Okay, so with that, the week of the 12th, if you're wanting to run a mini challenge group that week, start inviting now. Okay, don't wait until next Thursday and be like, oh, hey, on Monday, I'm doing a Shaun T group. I would highly recommend that if you want to get people engaged and you want to take people through the workouts that week, start inviting them now. I think there's no harm in that. You know that there are a lot of Shaun T fans out there, so take full advantage. The other element to keep in mind here is that there is going to be an extended calendar and workouts available from what I understand. And I hope I'm not misrepresenting that. And I think that Noelle might have shared that with us on the last team call. I'll have to see if I can find the video that she was referencing. She said that she watched a Shaun T video where he was talking about how we'll have the week of Shaun T, right, the week of June 12th, but then there would be a 30-day calendar that would accompany that so that you could, if you really liked the workouts, you could keep going. I don't know if it's going to be the same like 5 or 6 workouts rotating over those 30 days or how that will work. So I've got a little bit more research that I need to do as well before we get to that week of the 12th. Then on the heels of Shaun Week, we're going to get a sneak peek. This is a lot to get out. On June 19th of the new Shift Shop workout with Chris Downing. So he's the new super trainer, and his new workout is coming out, I saw it, July 12th. Yeah, that's the Wednesday of Summit. So I think it launches the Wednesday of Summit. So anyways, it'll be awesome to get a sneak peek at that. If you've been following some of the top coaches who are in the current test group for Shift Shop, now is an awesome time to kind of just start to get a feel, start to share with the people that you're working with in your challenge groups and who you're sharing with on social media to give them a taste of what is to come. Start thinking about whether or not you want to run a test group in late July, early August, as soon as the program is available. I'm planning to run one starting right at the beginning of August. So just some things to keep in mind. All right. The other element is that Thursday, June 1st is when the new Beachbody On Demand membership perks all start to take place. And so if you remember from the announcement a couple of weeks ago, now anybody who has a premium account, an on-demand membership, everybody is now going to get the all access for all programs. So it's a really nice thing for anybody who has been taking advantage of being an on-demand customer, but maybe hasn't upgraded. I still think there are some great perks and there are still a lot of savings. So if you have somebody who's on the semi-annual or quarterly plan, it's a great opportunity to talk to them about upgrading to the annual plan just to save more money. Okay, all right. Any questions on any of that stuff? Pretty straightforward. Okay, a couple other announcements. Our June Success Club prize will be a second month of webinar with John C. Maxwell. You can see here what the topic will be for next month. So 2 months in a row with webinars. And, I know it's not like a shiny gift, like a tangible prize, but I do think that there is a lot to be gained from these webinars. So if you're working towards Success Club, it's an awesome opportunity to have some really personal and insightful personal development throughout the course of the month. So definitely something to strive for in June. If you didn't order your Summit t-shirt, don't forget that that is something that you guys can still do. I hope that everybody ordered one, even if you're not going to Summit. And Erin and her success partner, Kristen, are running a Coach Basics group for the next few weeks. So if you would like to do Coach Basics, just feel like you need a little bit of a refresher, hook up with Erin and get with her on getting added to that group. And then the last thing I'm going to share is that finally, for all of our clients or any of you who are Android phone users, we have been asking for a Beachbody On Demand app for over a year, I feel like at this point, probably since Beachbody On Demand launched the app for iPhone. We've been asking for it for Android as well, and it is coming very soon. So this link that you'll be able to copy from the presentation when I post it to our team page is a great thing to send out to your customers, or you can post it on your Facebook page if you want, but just as a great heads up to any of your clients who have Android versus iPhones, they are going to get access via app very, very soon. So awesome. As you guys saw, from what I shared this past week, I mean, it's really nice to be able to download some workouts. You do still need some element of a digital signal or a data signal to be able to get access to those. But just keep in mind that it is a really nice thing to be able to offer and update people on. Hi, Erin. Glad you could join us. All right. So, did I skip something? No, I didn't. I gave Success Club updates. Okay. So let's get into the meat of tonight's call now that we're 20 minutes in. So I don't want this to be a super long call, but I feel like I have some exciting stuff to share with you guys. And I know it's the second to the last day of the month, but this is something I want you guys to keep in mind and take with you with your momentum into June. I wholeheartedly agree in this element of tonight's topic of fortune in the follow-up. And one of the personal development books that I'm reading this month called Get Over Your Damn Self. It's been a great book, and it's got a different way of kind of presenting a lot of the objections and a lot of the struggles that we have in network marketing and how to work through those. So we're going to talk about follow-up, and then we're going to talk about a slightly different approach to follow-up called reaching back as kind of the combo of tonight's topic. So getting into fortune being in the follow-up, there are four main mistakes, and we could probably come up with like a list of like 10 or more, but I'm going to touch on kind of 4 of the main mistakes that I feel like a lot of us make when we're in the inviting process. Okay. The first one, of course, is that one and done mindset of like, I sent out an invite, they're going to get back to me. And if they don't get back to me, then, oh, well, I'm moving on to the next person. Totally mentality that happens a lot. The second mistake that a lot of us make, personally guilty of this as well, is taking no for an answer and hearing the word no and being afraid to death to take the next step of reaching back out to them at some point, which is number 3, of course, and letting fear control our business. And the 4th is that we stop being consistent in how we invite, how we follow up, how we add value on social media. So again, I think we probably all could agree that there's a much longer list, but I feel like at the core, those are 4 of the main mistakes or hurdles that we have when it comes to the inviting process. Now, every single one of those, though, can be tackled by having a follow-up strategy. And what I have learned, I have seen, we're going to talk about the rule of 7. I have seen other things where it takes 12 touch points with somebody before you get them interested in your product. I've seen stats of, 5, of 9, like it's all across the board. I think the rule of 7, mostly because I love the number 7, is a great place to be. And I think if you take a second and you think about the number of contacts you have on average with somebody, I would say 7 is the average, but 7 could also be the minimum, right? From the point in which you start the conversation to all of the follow-up conversations you have as you're forming them, to any back and forth conversations you have trying to help them pick the right product, and then potentially any conversation that you have with them about the coaching opportunity. You could easily be 12 conversations or 12 touch points into and invested into one person. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That means that you're doing a great job giving information, providing value, being a professional, and really helping establish, even for that person, how incredibly blessed they are to have a coach who's willing to spend that kind of time with them. And then if you're presenting the coaching opportunity, it really helps show the type of time and the type of work it takes to help somebody get on the right path and to help somebody get onboarded as a new coach. So at this point, I'm looking at it as the rule of 7 and how we need to continue to share our stories on social media. We need to continue to build our brands and build our businesses every single day. I mean, we can't afford to just take 4 or 5 days off and then pick back up and think that we're going to be able to pick right up where we left off. Social media moves at such an incredible pace that if you're not thinking holistically about your business in the sense of posting to social media, regardless of what your platform is, and being consistent with posting a minimum of 3, but 3 to 5 or 7 times a day. I kind of like that 3 to 5 time frame. I get a little stressed out if I think about posting more than 5 times a day to social media. I don't have that kind of time. But I think that a great business can be built and established off of posting consistently 3 times a day to social media. And that's just your post. That doesn't take into account the time that you're going to spend commenting and responding to people who comment on your post or following up with them. So building on that and why we need to be so consistent and why it takes 7 touch points with somebody. We're all on social media. Think about the just overwhelming amount of information and updates and crap that you look at on social media. It is hard to filter between what you might really want to see and all the other things that clutter your inbox with these funny memes and, pictures of things that, I'm like, okay, that's really nice, but I'm moving on, right? Like that element of cutting through the clutter is why it is so important that you're thinking with an added value mindset every time you post, okay? And if you are not sharing, okay, it's not going to be top of mind for people and they're going to move on, right? And there's also this element of the fact that we're all insanely busy, right? So if you think that, you don't really need to be posting every day, then you're going to drop out of people's news feeds. And we don't want that to happen because you work so hard to be relevant in people's news feeds that if you take 3 or 4 or 5 days off completely from social media, then you have to do so much work to catch back up. So just think about that element of consistency. I absolutely believe in the benefits of unplugging. So I don't want to devalue that in any way, but if you're building a business, you've got to be on social media. All right. So then we think about this element of the word no, right? It's like the worst word ever. No. Like we hate when our kids say it to us. We hate when we hear it as adults. It doesn't really matter. There's never like a good context for the word no. So a few ways that I like to think about the word no. Okay. And if you take no for an answer, you're letting like this little piece of your business die. Okay. So don't do this. All right. Take a no. And even though it sucks and it is like gut wrenching and it hurts your heart sometimes, I've been going through this personally for the last few days. Think about what that no really means. And you hear all the time that no means not right now. Okay, yes, we've all heard that. I also like to think about no's as my next opportunity. Okay, when will I have, she said no now, but when will I have my next opportunity to reach back out? And we also know that sometimes no it just simply means it's not the right time for that person. And I guess that kind of also means not right now, but it feels differently to me in that I know that this person is interested, but it is a really difficult time in their life right now. If they can make it through this hurdle, then I'm going to follow back up with them in a couple of months. I'm just going to send them a note every now and then and let them know I'm thinking about them, because when the time is right, I want to be the person that they want to work with. I want them to know that I care about them. I want them to know that they're going to be able to trust me, that I'm going to be there for them, not just reach out once and then, the minute I think that they're an easy target, then I'm reaching out again. We don't work like that. So the worst no, though, as we all know, is just silence. When you send a note to somebody and they never respond to you, you just get those crickets, right? It really sucks. But in every single one of those situations where there is a no, you need to be keeping a list, okay? And I realize that I kind of have like our people over us here. Because while you have this long list of prospects, right, that you want to reach out to, your list of people who say no is going to be just as long, if not longer, than your list of ongoing people who you want to be reaching out to and inviting. And that's really important because following up with those people, the next time you have a group that comes out, it might just be a couple months down the road. You might give them a little bit of this break and then in a couple months be like, hey, remember when we were chatting in March and you were so excited about the coach opportunity, or you were so excited about what you learned about Shakeology, but we never really got you on board. Let's talk about it now. This is going to be really critical even coming into the last couple of months of the summer, because once we get to the end of August and we don't have the all access challenge pack at a super discount, that's going to start to change the conversations, right? So you're going to want to be following up with all the people you've been talking to this summer who haven't committed and get them on board. Okay, so it's how to handle no's. It's not as easy, I know, because hearing no, it makes it really hard to reach back to people. But I want you to think about this element of the concept of reaching back. And I want you to think about it slightly differently than how we think about a standard, I'm following up just to touch base type of communication. I've been learning about this technique through the PD book that I'm doing. And so these are some of the concepts from the book that have been the most impactful to me, that I thought that you guys would get a lot of value out as well. So the first, this power of reaching back really pertains a lot to this element of periodically going back to the people that, you have had contact with, people who are on your customer list. And I mean, in this book, she really states you should be reaching back to everyone, unless they are a person who is already on your team, or they have told you straight up, do not contact me again. Okay, that is a solid no. I will give it to you. That is like the slammed door in your face. So that is a person you should write off. That will also be a person, by the way, who 3, 4, 6 months down the road, they're going to be keeping an eye on you and what you're doing. And that person is going to come back to you. So think about that, and think about how you respond to somebody who's like, please do not contact me again. I want nothing to do with being in a group. I am not interested in getting in shape. Don't reach out to me. Because I guarantee you, in the back of that person's mind, they're going to keep watching everything that you do on social media. And one day they're going to have this feeling of, I really need to get in shape. I really have got to do something to make myself feel better. I'm going to reach out to Erin, to Natalie, to Marissa, to Noelle, to anybody who I have been following. I'm going to reach out to that person that I have the most personal connection with, and I'm going to ask them for help. Okay? So just keep that in the back of your mind when you feel like the door has been totally slammed in your face. Okay? Now, she also describes in the sense of, if you're not reaching back to people or following up, you can position this however it's easiest for you to compartmentalize. But if you don't stay in touch and you don't reach back to those people, even with a, hey, I hope that you're doing great. Oh my gosh, I saw the picture of your kids, kindergarten graduation, and it was awesome to see. She looked so happy. You look amazing. That's just a reach back. It's not asking for anything. It is not vying to put them into a group. It is just simply a genuine reach back and connection. So with that, she also goes into this detail about why we don't do this. Why do we, have a one and done with people? And a lot of it has to come down to the fact that we feel like when we follow up or when we reach back to people, we're just being pushy. We're just being salesy, right? And those are the things that make us feel icky. Those are the things that we don't want to do. And yet, and that's what keeps us from doing any of that stuff. So I want to encourage you guys that if you get to the point in a conversation with one of your clients and you're like, I'm having to work really, really hard to convince them that they need to be in my challenge group, or that this is the challenge pack or the workout for them, just stop yourself, okay? Because we're not in the business to be salesy or pushy. We are selling a product. We are teaching a lifestyle, but we're not in this to be pushy and icky and salesy. So this is definitely something I have to think about, because I don't know about for you guys, but for me, I get super passionate about being able to share such an amazing opportunity from a health and fitness standpoint, from a coaching opportunity standpoint, that when I see people talking themselves out of it, it hurts my heart, because I'm like, I know how great you could feel if you did this workout if you just worked on meal prep for a couple of weeks and saw how much time it would save you. And so I know, me personally, I don't know about for anybody else, but this element of convincing, or this element of kind of, I don't know if it's like harping or what the right other term is, but I have to really watch myself and I have to really dial it back, because I know that my passion can come across as probably being pushy. And that's the last thing I want anybody to feel is pressure. All right. So I also think, she calls out in this book about how if you're taking the time to reach back, follow up, and be really genuine in what you're following up with people on, that you're not being pushy, that you're really being professional, because you want to take that initiative to share something with them. So and I might have skipped ahead. Did I skip ahead? Oh, reaching back periodically. I got a little carried away there. Hold on. Okay, here we are. Reach back, be authentic. Okay. So then it might feel overwhelming to think about, how do I keep track of all of the people in my client list? How do I keep track of all the people that I do want to have this conversation with? So there's this element of needing a system, right? And I think that for anybody who likes working in a system approach, likes having organization, this business can be tough, because especially the way that we communicate with people, we can be all over the board. You might be emailing one person, you might be on Facebook Messenger with somebody else, you might have had a great in-person conversation with somebody, and the last thing you want to do is lose track of who you've been talking to and about what and where they're at in the element of forming or moving through your funnel to become a challenger or to become a coach. So these are just a few things that have worked for me. A couple things. I think I might have grabbed one thing from the PD book, but I would definitely recommend to you guys that if you want to start, if you want to just have a really simple system that can help you build consistency, start with downloading your customer list from your back office. You can extract it into Excel. You can clean it up. There's a bunch of fields in there, as you guys know from what we fill out in our profiles. Just clean it up so you have the person's name and their email, and keep their address, because you might want to send them a note or send them something in the mail. But just start a column with notes about the workouts that they're doing. Sometimes we already have it pre-populated if somebody has selected the workouts that they've done. But I keep it in Excel because it's easy to edit. If you like Word documents better, do a Word document, whatever is easiest for you. And if it's a new lead, if it's somebody that you didn't realize was on your client list, email that person, reach out to them. If you know them personally, send them a text. You don't have to just do everything through email, but reestablishing and having that personal connection with somebody is going to start to take you a really long way. And it's going to help you, because depending on how things move forward, I always really liked this approach in the past, because, every month we got a different program that was on the Challenge Pack special. So I liked keeping a running list of people who had been interested in PIO or T25. So when those workouts came back on our Challenge Pack promo, I had something really great to reach out to them about. And it's a little bit different now that we have all access. So I have to kind of adjust my strategy. But it's still not a big deal, because there's still a great opportunity to reach out to them and give them access to everything. So just decide what works best for you. What type of tracking system works best for you? And if you're a paper and pen type of person, then be a paper and pen type of person. But just know that you have to be consistent in following up with everybody that you have on your list, and where their interests lie and what they need help with, so that as you have a group that can fit their needs, as we have access to a new program that fits their goals and their interests, you have something great to follow up with them on. And then I would start to get into the habit of establishing a newsletter. You can build a custom email in MailChimp for free, and it is super simple to do. It allows you to add some cool graphics, and it allows you to give a platform to follow up with people. Super simple. And you can reach everybody in your database with one email, and then you can do your individual communications outside of that. It's just an easy way to stay in people's inboxes and stay relevant with people with the things that you have to offer. Adding value, we talk about this all the time. Just keep adding value and keep being consistent, okay? And this follow-up and reach back approach. There is so much to be gained in your business from incorporating these two things. All right, really quickly, I'm not gonna go into a lot of detail on these. These were her core 7 reasons as to why you want to reach back to people. And as you read through this list, you're going to think like every single one of these things makes total sense. Yep, it's about things that are happening in our business. We constantly have new products to update people on. An event in their city could be if there's a Super Saturday. This is a great example. Being hosted, and you're going to go as a coach. You can invite non-coaches to go to a Super Saturday. And some Super Saturdays don't make guests pay. Some have a discounted rate, but it is so worth getting people to a cool event like that. And if you haven't been to one yourself, get to one, because it's a lot of fun to hear from a top coach. It's awesome to interact with other coaches, to hear success stories, and to do group workouts. It's a lot of fun. And we mostly work out by ourselves, obviously. So anytime you get a chance to do a fun, big group workout, it's worth it. And then, you know, I know I've talked about the book Go Giver in the past, and I really hope that all of you have read that or will be reading it. But that element of being a go-giver is really about a lot about what we have read in Girl Code. And it is about empowering other people. It's about taking yourself out of it and really figuring out how you can help somebody else grow, because it's going to come back to you and it's going to help your business grow as well. So think about that go-giver mentality, because it's super strong and super empowering. And then, of course, we all know, especially in our business, working with moms and working with women, that anytime you see somebody who's posting about being pregnant, who just had a baby or has kids going back to school or finishing school, it's a great time to reach out to them as well. And then when you have a success story within your team, and use any story within your team, it doesn't have to be your personal downline. It can be a part of our bigger downline. When you see somebody who shares an awesome transformation, an awesome story about hitting a milestone in their business, and you think that it will resonate with another stay-at-home mom or somebody who's in a career and trying to break free, share those stories, because something might click for them and they might want an awesome opportunity to be able to join your team or your challenge group. So I would definitely recommend that you get this personal development book. If you don't have it already, and read it. I'm about halfway through it. It's been an awesome read and a lot of great takeaways from it. So when you finish Girl Code, if you're looking for another personal development book, it is absolutely one that I would recommend. All right, you guys, that was a lot of information for one night, but I hope some good information and just some good things for you to think about as you're trying to figure out a good strategy going into next month. You know, I think I haven't had a chance to listen to this week's National Wake Up Call, but I know the topics, and it is a lot about planning, and it is a lot about positive affirmations and just reflecting on the month that you just had and what went well and what didn't well, and what you can take with you into the next month to make it better for you. So I think there was probably a lot of great things in the wake up call this week as well to pull from. And did anybody listen to it and have anything that they want to share? Everybody might be muted. You can unmute yourself if you want.
I haven't had a chance to listen.
Yep. Okay.
I'm here.
Awesome. Okay.
Been so bad lately with not listening to those.
It's hard. It's hard on a Monday morning to remember personally. So I'm always listening to the podcast 3 or 4 days later, to be honest with you. So, okay, well, that's going to wrap up following up and reaching back. I hope that was some good information for you guys this week. And if you have feedback, of course, I would love to hear it. Or if you read Get Over Your Damn Self, or even have some other good takeaways from Girl Code, I would really love to hear about those as well. Okay, I'm going to call it a night on that front.